Findings for the month of February show an on-year decline in auto exports, but government officials remain optimistic as export value hit above $5 billion. Our correspondent Lee Soo-jin explains.
South Korea's auto exports once again surpassed the $5 billion mark last month, but were unable to set new records. According to data released by the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy on Tuesday, the value of car exports came to $5.2 billion in February. This, however, is a 7.8% drop compared to the previous year. The ministry said this was mostly due to fewer working days as the Lunar New Year holiday was in February this year. The base effect was also a factor as outbound shipments of cars in February 2023 rose a whopping 47% on year to record what was at the time the highest ever monthly exports. The cumulative value of auto exports so far for the first 2 months of the year stands at $11.4 billion, up 7.5% on year. The cumulative domestic sales of cars, however, fell nearly 12% on year and more than 20% for the month of February. But the ministry remains optimistic as it expects production to resume at Hyundai Motor's Ulsan and Asan plants, as well as electric vehicle subsidies to boost domestic demand. Domestic production levels last month were down 13.6% on year from fewer working days and the temporary suspension of certain vehicle production plants. Still, over 300,000 cars were produced for the 18th consecutive month. And on-year drops were also seen in exports and domestic sales of eco-friendly cars. In terms of units, slightly more than 50,000 vehicles were sold overseas, an almost 14% decrease compared to the previous year. The value of these exports came to around $1.7 billion, down 15% on year. And domestic sales of eco-friendly cars were also down in February, falling nearly 12% from a year earlier to around 40,000 units. The Trade Ministry thus plans to work with other related ministries to make changes to current regulations that will boost investment in eco-friendly cars as well as overall vehicle exports. It will also allocate 442.5 billion won, or around $330 million, to the auto R&D budget for this year to enhance the domestic auto industry's competitiveness in the global market. Lee Soo-jin, Arirang News.